Today we're talking about storytelling. If you want your content to perform better, you need to learn how to tell better stories. So in this video, I'm gonna walk through my 6 favorite storytelling techniques that will massively improve your content. After watching this, I guarantee you will think differently about the way you write scripts and make videos. All right, let's dive in. Tip number 1 is what I call the dance. All great stories are like a dance between context and conflict. You give a little context, the characters are on a mission, they're doing something, and then, oh no, here comes a conflict. You give a little bit more context, the characters have solved that first conflict, they're on their way, and then oh no, another conflict. This dance is how you keep the viewer locked in. It could be a feature film or a short form video. The dance is always there. Now, why does this work? Conflicts create open loops in the brain, and then context helps close those loops. The best explanation I've ever seen for how to tactically implement this dance idea is from Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They're the ones who created South Park. They were giving a talk at NYU. Watch this.
We found out this really simple rule that maybe you guys have all heard before, but it took us a long time to learn it. But we can take these beats, which are basically the beats of your outline, and if the words "and then" belong between those beats, you're basically. You got something pretty boring. What should happen between every beat that you've written down is either the word therefore or but, right? So what I'm saying is that you come up with an idea and it's like, okay, this happens, right? And then this happens. No. It should be this happens and therefore this happens. But this happens, therefore this happens. And that, as soon as we are able to, and literally sometimes we'll write it out to make sure we're doing it. We'll have our beats and we'll say, okay, this happened, but then this happens, and that affects this, and that does to that, and that's why you get a show that feels like, okay, this to that, to this to that, but this, here's the complication, to that.
So tactically, it's as simple as using the words but and therefore consistently throughout your script that will create those open conflict loops. If you're using the words and then, it'll feel like you're piling on detail after detail after detail, and the viewer will lose interest. Use this but then framework next time you're writing a script. I guarantee it'll up-level that video. All right, tip number 2 is rhythm. I talk about this a lot, but there's this natural subconscious pacing and rhythm that is soothing to the brain. You can hear in my delivery, I'm pretty decent with this like natural ebb and flow. The rhythm of the syllables when I talk is soothing to listen to. Now, I used to be a rapper and I was a drummer growing up, so this pacing and rhythm is kind of embedded in me, which I think is why I'm naturally good at talking in this way. But I do have this tactical way that can improve anyone else at rhythm. Now, if you look at my script document, I write every sentence on a separate line. If you look straight down, it'll look like a jagged edge, and that confirms that I'm using different length sentences. Next time you're writing a script, try to look for this. If you see your document and all the sentences seem to end at around the same point, you don't have enough diversity and it will feel like this monotonous plodding.